Shalom, shalom, peace, peace, family, peace, 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 love, light, and healing, family. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in, family. Man, it's been a long beginning of the week, y'all. It's been a long beginning of the week. I'm going to wait on y'all to climb on in. Y'all see what we got on the board? Germ theory, bacteria theory, virus theory, theory after theory after theory. It's time for us to start talking about these things, y'all. You know what I'm saying? These theories got us all misconstrued. Theories got us all scared. Theories got us running to these doctors, taking pharmaceuticals. Theories got us getting chemotherapy. Theories got us getting our chest cavities open up. Theories got us getting surgery. Theories got us on dialysis. Theory after theory after theory. Theories. So let's talk about it. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in, family. I'm going to wait till y'all get in here. We're going to go in real quick. Hey, man, we had a beautiful lecture and seminar in Greensville, Mississippi. It was actually, I done a lot of seminars in my lifetime. And I say that seminar is probably one of the best ones. What you think?
Yeah, most definitely.
Man, it was so much love in the building, y'all. I mean, the love was crazy in Mississippi, like real Southern hospitality. We brought out some information that was never brought out before. I mean, it's a lot of healing that's going to come forth from that. And then some more good news. I got 3 healing testimonies today. We had a sister reach out on Facebook. She had clogged arteries and she had failing kidneys. She's not suffering from that no more. My sister Glenda, she had metastasized breast cancer. Clinically, she do not have breast cancer anymore. I'm going to have to tell y'all about her story. It's been a good 9 months. She don't got breast cancer no more. And then we got another HSV case where they don't have HSV1. It wasn't 2, but it was 1. But I'm still going to count that as a win because we got 3 healing testimonies. Breast cancer, heart problems, kidney failure, and we got HSV1 all knocked out of there. So, hey, I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that. All praises to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm super happy. But man, look, Greenville, Mississippi, man, like the energy, y'all, was crazy. It was amazing there. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing there. We brought our products there. We actually headed at this big old church. The pastor was cool. Pastor know that he a Hebrew Israelite. I mean, good looking. Shouts out to Zoe. Shouts out to her husband and just everybody who had partaken in that and setting that thing up, man. We met some beautiful children. It was a baby girl there. How old was she?
She was 10.
It's a 10-year-old, baby girl. What's her name?
Her name, her name is Caitlin.
And so it's a 10-year-old. Shouts out to 10-year-old Caitlin. Beautiful baby. I mean, beautiful baby. She got a beautiful mind. She's super smart, super intelligent. Her mother named Zoe. And what Zoe been doing, Zoe been taking her when they doing in-home schooling, right? And a part of her in-home schooling is her watching my videos. So she used to have eczema real bad all across her body. Man, a little 10-year-old, man, she straight healed herself by doing a fruit diet and just getting off the proteins, getting off everything. She do not no longer have eczema. And y'all know eczema is a form of herpes. A 10-year-old, y'all, a 10-year-old healed herself. Hey, and look, we talking to her, man. She sound like me. She sound like she about my age when it comes, and she sound like she been in this healing industry as long as me. Man, I was so joyful inside, man, because it's like this information is getting out here. If ain't no case, ain't nobody ever made me feel like I was in my purpose and that I have done enough. If I died today, I could say I've done enough. Was that 10-year-old. To hear her talk the way she talked, speak with confidence when it comes to her human anatomy, when it's talking about her blackness, and to like see her skin before and how it is now was mind-blowing. She straight healed herself just by watching the video. So shouts out to her. If y'all can, type in some 9s in the chat, y'all. Zoe Davis is in the live stream. That's her daughter. Beautiful daughter, smart, intelligent. I mean, man, it was amazing. That little girl blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yeah, Yaki, because, you know, I got my lymph moving and I healed my lymphatic system. And I was looking to get my kidneys to filtrate. I'm looking at her like, how old are you again? Blew my mind, man. Blew my mind. But yeah, So all praises, all praises. Well, look, if y'all ready to get this started, type in some sevens, and we're gonna start this. We're gonna start this because you know, once and for all, I want to really, really debunk these germ theory, this bacteria theory, this virus theory. We got to get that up out of there. We have to, and it's cause and effect when it comes to disease. I keep trying to tell y'all that, and that's the reason why we have so many healing testimonies, because we have truly figured out the simplicity when it comes to healing. Everybody looking for germs, everybody looking for bacteria, everybody looking for protein, viruses, but ain't nobody looking for the cause and effect and how the body accumulated these things. We literally be thinking that we'll walk around and we'll catch something, or we'll walk around, we'll breathe in an entity, or we touch somebody without washing our hands and we get a bad bacteria, when that's not the case. It's literally about what's going on the inside of your body in this system called the great lymphatic system. If your lymphatic system was clean, if your lymphatic system was producing the right microbiota, like your lymphocytes, like your phagocytes, you know, things like that, your T cells, which is your thymus cells, your B cells, which is your antibody cells, or what we're going to call the bone calcium matrix. If all these things are in balance and in check, I don't care what you touch, it's not going to affect your body. I don't care what you breathe in, it's not going to affect your body, because you're constantly eliminating what the body's accumulating. What's happening is you are being cellularly constipated, and that's why your cells are dying, and that's why you're having the so-called disease manifestations that you're experiencing, because you are backed up interstitially by way of the lymphatic system. If y'all just step back from being so complex and just look at the simplicity of nature, and look at what they're doing in nature, and see how a gorilla eat, see how a lion eat, just see how they eat in nature. One thing you will see is they don't mix their food. The next thing you're gonna see is they don't cook their food. The next thing you're gonna see is they do not eat what's outside of their cosmic arrangement. They do not eat what's outside of their geographical location. Wherever they was created and bred at, that is what they're gonna eat according to their physiology. We are the only human species on planet Earth that eat outside of that paradigm. And we're the only humans, and we're the only species on planet Earth that's taking a blowback from it, particularly when you get into the so-called African-American Negro, because we're the furthest off our diet than any other race and species on this planet. So our diseases, our viruses, our bacteria, all these different theories, these are cause and effect. They got y'all hating bacteria. They got y'all thinking bacteria is the enemy. They got y'all thinking that the microbiota is just the thing that causes all disease. This is germ theory, when you actually need the bacteria to chew on the acids from the foods that you've been eating. When you actually need the bacteria to chew on the acids from these acidic thoughts that you've been thinking. That you actually need the bacteria to help you break down these radioactive free radical particles from the chemtrails you've been breathing in when you've been walking up and down the street. Bacteria is a good thing. Bacteria is our friend. Your body is made of 150 trillion cells. 100 trillion of these cells are bacterium, single cell organism that they call the microbiota or the microbes. So you need this bacteria. Now, do they do things and self-inflict harm? Yes, they do. If you change the environment. So everybody want to talk about genetics all the time. Genetics, 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 genetics. My mama had diabetes, so most likely I'm gonna have diabetes. My mother had breast cancer in her fifth generation. So generations on down, I might be prone to breast cancer. Genetics is bullshit. Now, can you inherit genetic weakness? Of course, but a weakened cell never dies. A weakened cell is not a damaged cell. What damaged the cell? Acids. The weakness part of the cell don't damage the cell. The cell might not function at its high capability, but it's still going to function. A weak cell don't kill itself. What kills cells? Acidic environment. Acids does. We've been playing with the wrong side of chemistry, and that's the reason why we so jacked up and so backed up when it comes to the interstitial fluid of our cells, and literally every eliminating passageway or every eliminating pathway that we have to get rid of these gnarly parasitics, the protein, the complex sugars, the polysaccharides, and all the complex amino acid structures that our body can't break down. We've been eating these things, and then they get agglomerated and then we get cellular constipated, our lymphatic system get backed up and we don't have a pathway elimination, then we start burning the shit out of our cells. So we're literally dying from our own inflammation. We're dying from our cells' own toxic waste. That didn't come from the outside world. That didn't come from me breathing in the COVID-19. That didn't come from me not washing my hands and eating my food. That came from the conditions of my cell. That came from my environment of my cell. So all these germ theories is all bullshit and propaganda. You need germs. Without germs, you wouldn't exist. Did you know that? Germs make up more of you than you. Your body is made of 150 trillion cells. 50 trillion of them cells are made of the earth, afar, the minerals, the dust, the particles, the stardust. The rest come from the heavens. These are called your prokaryotic single cell organisms, or what they're going to call the microbiota. Literally. So if germs and bacteria is so bad, then why is more than 70%, 75% of my body is made of them? Guess what germs and bacteria do? It helps you with digestive enzymes. It helps you break down your foods. It helps you with food absorption. Guess what brings the phytonutrients and the nutraceuticals and the vital trace minerals and the simple amino acid cells into the blood capillaries, into the bloodstream by way of the duodenum or the duodenum? Germs do. The microbiota, good bacteria. Yes. Guess what's inside of these lymph nodes that's chewing on all the acids and on all these dead cells, that these uncontrollable cells that they call cell mitosis, when the cells just divide uncontrollably very quick and then agglomerate and becomes a tumor. Guess what's eating that shit up? Your germs. Yes. Guess what happens when the microbiota gets out of balance because you've been eating the wrong things, and now your lymphatic system has become so weak and the mucous membrane lining of your stomach is so thin that these microbiotas that was in a good position, in a good environment and functioning very properly when it was in the right place, which was in the gut, but now they have passed through the blood capillaries and entered the bloodstream, now became a part of the mucosa membrane. That same very microbiota becomes a what? A virus. It raises the exosomes in the body. Oh, then you go get tested for these viruses or exosomes. Now they say you have HIV because they found it in the thymus gland. Or they'll find this same microbiota or this same parasite, depending on the environment that you give it. See, the environment changes the microbiota. The environment changes genes and expressions. It's the environment. Now you go get checked and they say you have HSV. Now this very microbiota have became a hemorrhage worm. It's a hemorrhage worm when it lives in the mucous membrane of the skin. Now your reaction, because it chews on the nervous system, you have a herpes expression, or you get psoriasis, you get eczema, you get chicken pox, you get smallpox, you get herpes dermatitis, you get itchy elbow disease. You're still dealing with the same microbiota. You see that? Or if it moves to the bone, they say and it chews on that calcium. They say you have osteoporosis. You still dealing with the same microbiota, just in an acidic environment. If it moves to the liver, they say you have malaria. If it get in the blood, you have sickle cell anemia, or you have leukemia, because now it is chewing and it is feasting on the very nutraceuticals that your blood needs to supply oxygen to each cell of your body. What changed? Did the bacteria change? No, it didn't. See that? Did the bacteria change? No, it didn't. It's doing its job. Did the germ change? No, it didn't. It's doing its job. Did the virus come from outside of the body? No, it didn't. It was created by the gases and the protein inside of the body, created by the microbiome that come from the cell. So what changed? What changed, y'all? The environment. If you change to an acidic environment, the very cells that's inside of your body will change with it. The very things that's meant to be good for you will become your worst enemies. So that knocks the germ theory out of the ballpark. That knocks the virus theory out of the ballpark. That knocks the bacteria theory out of the ballpark. Theory after theory after theory. But we show and prove time and time again. Dr. Sebi, on down the line. Like he said, If you if you go to the hospital and somebody been in the hospital bedridden for 9 months, and these doctors being lazy, the lazy doctors that they are, and you don't change the bed coverings, or you don't change that body over to let it get air, to let it get oxygen, guess what happens at the bottom of the back or the bottom of the butt or thighs? Bed sores. If you look inside these bed sores and you take a biopsy of the bed sores and you take it and you let a pathologist look at the bed sores, guess what's going to be moving around? Yes, bacteria. And then if you leave it long enough, these bacteriums or the microbiota grows into maggots. Then these maggots grow into bigger things. Same thing with a potato. Cut a potato in half, put it inside of a shoebox, and zip the shoebox up and put tape on it. Put tape all around the shoebox. Leave it there for about 14 days. Come back later. Guess what you're going to see? You're going to see maggots form from the potato. We can keep going, so forth and so forth. Put a dead cat inside of a sealed box. Leave for months at a time, come back and look back in the box. The cat ain't gonna longer exist. It's gonna be bones. And guess what else is gonna be? A bunch of magnets, a bunch of parasites. Is this shit just coming in out of the streets? Did it knock on the door and jump inside the boxes? Huh? With the man that was laying with the bed sores, that ain't seen the day of light, I had oxygen on his skin for 9 months. Did these bacteria climb in the hospital, climb up on the bed, and then grew into magnets and started living inside of his butt, inside of the open sores? No, it didn't. These living entities came from inside the man. These living entities came from within inside of the potato. These living entities came from within inside of the dead cat. It's in us. It's called the microbiota. 150 trillion cells, y'all. 100 trillion cells is made of these living microorganisms. Well, they can become macro depending on the environment. When you move these things to certain parts of the body where they're not supposed to be at, they cause so-called illnesses, disease, and viruses. Do you think they get that? Do you think they hear me? If y'all get this, and if y'all hear me, type in some nines. If y'all get this, and if y'all hear me, type in some nines. But everybody believe in germs. Or you can, let me wear my mask. I'm going to breathe in the COVID. Ain't no such thing. Exosomes, look it up. HIV ain't no such thing. Yeah, you can test positive according to their bullshit tests. You know how many people can test positive for HIV? Did you know that if you test positive right now for HIV and you go to the Congo Republic of Africa with the same exact test and the same exact standard that tested you positive here in America, they will say that standard is negative? Hold on. So then it's going to have me questioning, what the hell is HIV then? Then they say that HIV causes AIDS. All diseases leads to AIDS. All AIDS is when the lymphatic system drowns all 150 trillion cells in your body. That's all AIDS is. We didn't heal that. HIV, all these are bull crap theories done been healed. Showing you that they don't really exist. Only thing that exists is cause and effect. Cause and effect. What you eat is going to accumulate. And what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. And if you accumulate it and it's full of acids, it's going to burn your ass. And that's going to change the environment because it's going to change the chemical structure of your body. So according to the environment that you change, guess what the microbiota are going to do? They're going to do their job, which is to change with it. You see that? You see that? The very microbiota is in control of the fermentation of your food inside of your belly. This is your initial breakdown right after the hydrochloric acid by way of pepsinogen breaks down your food. It goes into the duodenum. Inside the duodenum, the microbiotic starts to break down the food due to fermentation, right? If this fermentation is not then picked up and all of the nutraceuticals and all of the phytonutrients and the biophotons is not picked up and taken through the blood capillaries and supplied through the bloodstream, then what happens? It's set in the stomach too long. Now, since the environment changed because the period of your circadian rhythm changed, now the bacteria have to change. Now this fermentation turns into fungus. Toenail fungus, fingernail fungus. Oh, dang, you ain't got rid of that. You ain't got rid of that. So now the environment changed to a fungi environment. Now when fungus come, this get moist. The moisture it gets, the more oxygen get evaporated. So now mucus your mucous membrane is going to have a stimulating response that's going to try to calm the fungus down. So now you got fungus, you have a oxygen-less environment, and you got mucus, a big-ass lipid, a water-soluble lipid that we're going to call an oil called cholesterol, or called mucus, or called lymph. These three together, now you start to suffocate the cell. This become mold. So now the same very bacteria that used to ferment your food, since you changed the environment, now it's going to turn your food into fungus. Now, since you didn't change your environment and you're still in this hostile environment, it's going to change it to mold. Now, guess what mold does? Molds break everything down to dust. This is called cellular apoptosis, cellular death. What changed? The environment. It's still the same damn microbiota. All these things happen from within, not without. Quit letting them lie to y'all. Got y'all running around here breathing in your own carbon dioxide because you think that you're going to catch a damn virus that don't exist. If it's a virus and it exists, it started with inside the cell. Now, don't get me twisted. Well, I'm not saying that they're not in laboratories making up shit, because they are. But the only way to administrate that to you is through what? Vaccinations. They have to literally inject these things into your cells, because all things start within the cells, unless it's a traumatic experience like a car accident or something like that. Other than that, these diseases, these viruses, these germs, all this different bullshit happens within inside of the body according to the environment that you put your cells in. Period. Now, there's a system, a great system, that gets rid of all of these things. It's called the Great Lymphatic System. If y'all ready to talk about the Great Lymphatic System, family, please type in some nines. If y'all ready to talk about it, please type in some nines. Yeah, it's crazy. They testing all of that. It's total crap, y'all. It's bull, y'all. It really is. And then they don't even have standard. Look, you have never seen a COVID-19 strand. You have never seen it. They draw pictures. When you see that shit, it's colorful because they drew it or they did a computer 3D animation of it. Why haven't you seen the actual culture from a pathologist? Because it don't exist. So how the hell is they testing for something if they don't even have the standard for it? Same thing with HIV. They don't even have a standard for it. Then they got the Western blot testing. Then you take this same Western blot testing and go to Africa, they will test you negative. Go to Australia from Africa, they'll test you back positive. Then come back to America with the same exact standard. They will test you negative, or they will say it was a false positive. Then on these tests of the HIV, it tells you. Even if you look at a flu vaccine, look at the little pamphlet. It will say most likely you would test false positive for HIV. So if that's the case, then what is HIV? HIV is nothing but a gasified lipid-soluble protein that comes from within the cell. It's not nothing that you contracted. Fuck out of here with that, man. They are liars and y'all are buying into it. They're lying and y'all buying into it. Half of these STDs are not sexually transmitted. You've been having herpes since you was 2 when you got the Zoster vaccine. You finally lay down with a man and through y'all oxytocin and releasing certain chemicals due to your glandular highway. Now all of a sudden certain stress markers or certain hormone markers and factors present themselves, and then this simple microbiota changes its environment. Now it expresses itself through the mucous membrane. You have an outbreak. It's either going to be up the vagus nerves and you're going to catch it here, or it's going to be down here around your groin area and you catch it there. You think, so look, your point of reference due to the lies they've been teaching you since you've been born. Oh, this Negro gave me herpes, or oh, this woman gave me herpes. You forgot that you just had the zoster vaccination with the damn herpes virus in it when you was 2. It's been in you. The whole thing is, if it ain't expressed genuinely inside the gene expressions for damn near 28 years, then all of a sudden it expresses itself. Then it ain't the gene, it ain't the hemith worm, it ain't the protein that expressed itself. Then what is it? What made it come up to the surface? What agitated it for it to manifest itself? What changed? The environment. The environment. You know how many cancer genes I might have? But guess what? That will never be cut on because of my environment. My grandpa, cancer. My grandma, Cancer. My cousin died of cancer. You know how many people in my family that had cancer or had thyroid problems or had all types of diseases, liver, kidney failure? And I know I inherit these genes, but why am I not expressing it? Because genes don't mean a damn thing. The environment is. The environment is what turns the genome code on for gene expression, y'all. Same thing. If you change the environment, the microbiota is going to change with it. Hope y'all get that. Hold on. Yeah, that's right, Prince. He said DNA expression is afflicted by cellular environments. That's it. Now, when you look at the lymphatic system, we go over this a lot, but I'm going to go over it again. How to truly heal the body. It's not by the blood. The blood is going to maintain its balance regardless. The moment that the blood changes from its balance, you die. So we know it ain't the blood. And everybody want to cleanse the blood. We always want to cleanse the blood. Cleanse the blood. Cleanse the blood. Burdock root. Cleanse the blood. Only time I'm cleansing the blood, like effectively, if this is a blood-borne disease. Because I know that if the blood changes pH, you're going to die. If you come at me with herpes, I'm not going to focus on the blood. The blood is going to maintain its pH balance of 7.45. What deals with the gnarly side, or what deals with the acidic side of chemistry? It's not the blood, because the moment that the blood becomes acidic, you die. It is the lymphatic system. The body consists of cells and two major fluids, family. You got 150 trillion cells, 100 trillion cells or bacteria. 50 trillion cells will be your microminerals that makes up the human vehicle. Then you have two fluids. You have a lipid fluid, and then you have a life force or a life fluid. The life force or the life fluid will be your base side of chemistry. That is your alkaline side of chemistry. That will be the blood. Then you have another one that is 3 times bigger than the blood that don't nobody want to talk about. Since y'all talking about it now, since I'm talking about it a lot, and a few others are now talking about it, but before when nobody talking about it, the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system. This literally, it makes up 75% of the fluid that's in your body. But when you go to the doctor, they give you a blood test. A blood test. You got a whole blood test of what's going on inside your blood, but they ain't got no lymphatic test. If you pop a pimple right now on your face, guess what's going to come out? A little bit of blood and a lot of pus. Guess what that pus come from? The lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the sewage system of your body. Something have to take away the trash that's in your body from what your cells accumulates. When your cells accumulate, because they have to eat. What do you think you're eating macro for? For your cells can eat the micro. You eat these big old meals. These big old meals go straight through your colon and come out your anus. But in the between time of these processes, the food is broken down by the microbiota. And then the microbiota breaks down these food and then take it through the blood. These are your microminerals. These are your phytonutrients. These are your biophotons. Your cells eat that. And it eats the fructose and glucose, for it can have a carbon constituent factor. That means it's burning things for energy. Well, if you burn something, guess what? It leaves an ash. It leaves a residue. Just the processes of it is very hot because it's friction. This creates heat, lactic acid, carbonic acid, uric acid. So now all this is inside of the cell. The cell then poops and all of this just sits on top of the cells. The cells don't have legs to get up to walk to the bathroom like you do. So what happens? You have something called the great lymphatic system or the interstitial system. And what happens is this fluid moves real slow and it picks up all the shit that your cells produce from eating and it takes it to the kidneys and the kidneys eliminate it. That's what happened. So if you're sick and you're dying, that's because this system is backed up. Your kidneys are not filtering and your lymphatic system is not moving because of it's too much agglomeration going on. So you have to get that lymph to move. And look, we finna break this down. Let's break this down. Y'all ready for me to break this down? Type in some nines. I'm finna start pulling out my heroes here in the back. Type in some nines. I'm finna show y'all this. Y'all ready for this? Type in some nines. Yeah, these my heroes. I'm finna take y'all to school today. Let's get it. Let me show y'all how this works. Let me get my buddies real quick. Let me show y'all how this works. All right. Come work this camera real quick.
Okay.
So look, y'all, just be real careful. Don't make sure it don't disconnect. This is the lymphatic system. What y'all see? Y'all see this? All of these white veins are lymphatic system. This is the venous system, the blue and the red. What this is y'all dealing with blood. But all of these yellow and white things, this is the lymphatic system. Notice it covers half of the body, right? Now notice where most of this lymphatic system is at. It's in the gut. Notice that. Look at all of these lymph nodes in the gut. The other half of the other part is where? In the groin. See that? So you got the gut, you got the groin. Look where the other part's at. Around the heart, in the throat. Notice these are where, and let's not forget, inside of the respiratory system. Notice this is where all your manifestation of disease happen at, because this is where your blockage is at. Notice when you block and you cannot eliminate, what the body doesn't eliminate, it accumulates. When the body accumulates these things and don't eliminate, remember it's dealing with the acid side of chemistry. So it's just sitting inside the lymphatic system, burning the hell out of your cells. All right. So let's go through something real quick. So say you finna eat something, right? He's eating something. It's going to go down his esophagus. It's going to go all the way to the stomach, right? Inside of the stomach is hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid is literally going to break down the food. From there, it's going to go to the duodenum. When it get inside the duodenum, all the absorption take place by the microbes, right? Now, the reason why you have something called the gout, or what we're going to call the gut associated lymphatic tissues, the reason why you have so much of the lymphatic system, or what they stupidly call the immunological system, is the lymphatic system. There's no such thing as the immunological system, y'all. That's a lie. The reason why most of it is in the gut is because inside of these ducts right here, what we're going to call lymph nodes, is full of something called the germinal terminum. Now, the germinal terminum is full of bacteria. Guess what these bacteria do? They look at the food that's processed, and they say, if I find anything in here that's foreign and bad for the body, we whooping his ass, we getting up out of the body. So what happens is they come out from the lymph nodes, or they're hanging out in the lymphocytes or the lymphatic veins and ducts, and then they look around. If they see something they don't like, they eat it up. A macrophage will come and eat it up, then take it in this lymph node. When it gets inside of this lymph node, most of the time it's acidic dead cells, or it's acidic dead bacteria from the foods you eating. Guess what happens inside these lymph nodes? You have millions and trillions of bacteria in each lymph node that eat acids. Now, what happens if these interstitial fluids, or these veins, are backed up, and these macrophages or the T cells or the B cells can't get none of the acids to get it to the actual lymph node? Then it just hangs inside the vessels, or it hangs around the cell, and it just burns and eat up the cell. See, this is what's constipated here. This lymphatic system. This is what's constipated. Lack of oxygen is killing us. And the reason why the lack of oxygen is killing us is because we are cellularly constipated, and we're suffocating off our own mucosa membrane. Because whenever you have acids, you always will have a mucosa response. Why do you have a mucosa response? Because the mucosa membrane is a big old lipid. It comes through and it saves the day. Now, the thing about the mucosa membrane, got another one. I'll show y'all this. This is a big ass lymph node. Big ass lymph node, ain't it? So check this out. So when you get inside of this is a capsule. This pink thing on top, they call this a capsule. Just like all cells have a protein envelope, this is what protects it from being invaded, right? Remember all of these little nodules that I was showing y'all, that's a part of the lymphatic system? These nodules are called lymph nodes. This is your lymph nodes. Check out what's inside the lymph node. This is called a germinal terminal. A germinal terminal. Now, if the germs are inside the lymph node and Yahweh created them to be there, then what are we talking about a germ theory? That is total bullshit. We're proving that wrong right now. How is germs killing us and catching germs killing us when our whole entire body is made of germs? These are germs that God, Yahweh, put inside of the lymph node to eat and to chew on, gnarly acids that you eating from the food that you ain't supposed to be eating. And even if you eating correctly, family, even if you eating right, the body still is going to produce an acidic environment from the processing of eating and just everyday living. So what's happening to all the lactic acid, the uric acid, the carbonic acid? Where is it going? Oh, You backed up. You done had antibiotics. So now the antibiotics go through and kills all these bacteria. Now you missing the actual good bacteria that's inside your septic tank, because that's all a lymph node is. So now when the actual lymph move all these acids inside of the lymph node, it just process and come right back out the outgoing tubulars, because you don't have any bacteria inside of it, because you done killed them all, because you done had antibiotics and eating all the wrong foods and all these other stuff. So now you have nothing to chew and kill your acids, to break them down furtherly, to take it to the kidneys for kidney filtration. So now it's just sitting on top of the cell, burning the hell out of your cell. And that's what we call disease. But they got a germ theory. They worry about you washing your hands. They worried about you catching something for being, because you missed to wash your hands and you went straight for your food. Or they always talking about, make sure you clean your foods very, very good, because you might catch this and might catch that. If these systems is clean, it will go straight through if it was something there. But half the time there is nothing there. You are literally dying and getting viruses and getting bacterial infections from your own toxic waste that is already from within you, not from the outside environment. You just change your environment. Now your cells have to play a key role in change with it too. If y'all got that so far, type in some nines. If y'all got that so far, type in some nines. Type in some nines, and we're going to keep this going. Yes, that's all it is, Prince Yehuda. These are byproducts. There's a byproduct to everything in life. There's a byproduct to everything in life. You drive your car. You put gas in your car. The byproduct is carbon dioxide. You see that? The byproduct of sulfur is sulfuric acid. The byproduct of phosphorus is phosphoric acid. The byproduct of urine is uric acid. You see that? There is always a byproduct when it comes to creation. There's always have to be duality or parallels. If there's an up, by byproduct, there will have to be a down. If there's left, by byproduct, there will have to be a right. See that? Whenever you bring something in creation, God, Yahweh teaches us this through the word. See, that's why when the light came, darkness came. Everything came from the darkness. When the light came, it separated itself from the darkness, because the darkness was here first. The byproduct of that was the light. Then the light separated itself from the darkness. Yes. In order to have two, you had to have what first? One. Byproducts. These are byproducts. I keep telling y'all, there's only two things that exist: energy and the processing manifestation of that energy. The processing manifestation of energy is my body. Well, this body have byproducts for making energy basically experience reality. My everyday living creates lactic acid. My cells eating, my cells pooping, my cells moving and organizing, my cells having cellular memory, my cells forming themselves into community. I got lymphocytes that's coming in there. They're my pawns. They're literally out on the battlefield working out. My thymus cells are in the thymus gland, literally becoming military cells. My bone matrix cells are creating being antibody cells. All this work is going on inside my body. Y'all don't think that there won't be any byproducts from all of this work? Just by moving around right now, I'm sweating. So if I'm sweating lactic acid just from moving my limbs, what the hell do you think is going on the inside of my body? Now, the beautiful thing about this, I can take my sleeve and wipe my sweat. Your cells can't do that. If this sweat sits on my skin for a long time, it starts smelling because it builds up ammonia. Ammonia burns, y'all, and it stinks, and it will corrode your skin. You can get pimples and everything from it. You see that? That is a byproduct of their own acid waste. Now, if that's happening on the outside of my body, but luckily my forearms can take my sleeve and wipe this sweat away, what happens to your cells when your cells cannot have that same sleeve wiping effect? The acid just sits on top of the cells and burn and damage the cell. So luckily, we have something called the great lymphatic system, which is this lipid oil-based cholesterol mucosa response that move through the interstitial around each and every cell in your body and pick up all the trash, pick up all the acids and take it to the lymph node. And when it gets to the lymph node, the bacteria inside the lymph node break these acids down. See, bacteria love to eat acid. That's why wherever you find acid, you find what? Bacteria. Wherever you find a dead body, you find maggots and flies. Wherever you find roadkill, you find maggots and flies. So now we're wondering why the bacteria that was acting good is now turning into parasites, maggots, and tapeworms, hookworms, fluke worms, hemith worms, fascioloscus, buski, trimidads, and all these other worms. It's because we have changed into an acid environment. Our cells are beginning to die from its own acid waste. So of course, the germettes that was doing good things like breaking down your foods is doing bad things now and causing harmful effects in your body. Where did the maggots and flies come from? The roadkill. What, they flew over from a few miles away and flew to the dead carcass? Or did these things be biologically produced from within the dead carcass? Let's make it make sense. But we talking about some damn germ theory. You can catch a germ. You can catch a virus. You can catch a bacteria. You can catch this. You can catch that. No, you can't. No, you can't. If y'all understand this, overstand, and understand, let me know. Type in some 9s. Yes, from within, y'all. From within. All praises. I'm glad y'all get that. It's all bull crap, y'all. So with that being said, let's answer these questions. We got questions, y'all. We got questions. And I will show y'all how to move lymph. That's the most important thing. The classes in 2 weeks start Thursday. We'll start uploading the small classes, the mini classes, which is the cooking videos and me going over herbology, literally taking an herb each week and breaking down every aspect of that herb for y'all. Anybody that's a melanin gold member will have access to that. Anybody that's a melanin silver will have access to the cooking classes. But if you're a melanin gold, you'll have access to the cooking classes plus the herbology classes. Not only that, by July, we plan on having our school open. We are literally building a school, y'all. And this is going to be one of the major things where I'm straight teaching you how to be one of the best top-notch healers in the world. And with these classes, like true courses, with these courses, we're thinking about holding them in Florida, right?
Yep.
We're gonna fly, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna fly down to Florida for probably like 7 days, and we're gonna have a 7-day lecture class. And at the end of your 7 days, if you pass the exam, you will get you a certification, and you can become part of our squad. We're building a major, we building something big, y'all. We're building a huge school, y'all, and we trying to heal the world. Literally millions of bodies at a time. So we're gonna start a big old school. That'll be finished by July. I'm trying to actually have the classes, the school start on my birthday in Florida. So, man, that's going to be very, very, very good. I can't wait till that happen. That's going to be powerful. Y'all make sure y'all grad it and come out. In the next few months, we're going to have a lot of information about that. But starting next week, no, the week after next, we're going to start dropping the videos on Yaki TV. So go to the website, click on Yaki TV. If you are melanin silver or melanin gold member, you can see the cooking classes. If you're melanin silver, you can see the cooking classes and the herbology classes if you're a melanin gold member. And y'all check them things out. I'm going to be breaking all the chemical phytonutrients down in each plant, how it's good for your body, the frequencies, how it matches different frequencies. For instance, like parsley root. Parsley root, if you check the electrons in parsley in the chemical lab, the frequencies in the hertz matches the same frequencies in the hertz that's in the cells of your kidneys. That's why parsley is good for the kidneys. So I'm going to show y'all why Yahweh and how he chose it for certain vegetables and certain fruits to be good for certain organs and certain systems inside of your body. All way of the nervous system and electricity, protons, neutrons, electrons. So we're going to get real deep into biochemistry. So if you want to learn about herbs, that's the spot for you. If you want to learn holistic healing with the herbs, that's going to be the school. And that school should be launching in July. Yahweh Rock Zone, which means Most High Willing. All right, y'all ready for these questions? Type in some 9s. Yeah, we trying, y'all. We trying to do some big, major things, y'all. Type in some 9s and we'll get to these questions. Elder Art, how you doing, brother? How you doing, my brother? How you doing, Elder? We ain't got a price on the actual school yet on how much that's gonna cost. But as far as the cooking classes, $10 a month, Melanin Silver member. As far as the herbology classes on Yaki TV, that's $25 a month, Melanin Silver Gold. And a part of that $25 a month, you still get to watch the cooking classes too. So I mean, it's real cheap, y'all. It's very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. But yeah, man, what we building, man, is crazy. What we building is finna be amazing, y'all. All right, let's get to these questions. All right, this one says, I need help getting started. Now you say shalom or nothing, did they? Y'all better start shaloming me when y'all messaging me. And if anybody needs the website, here you go right here, www.yakiawaken.com at the bottom. Anybody want to mail us in questions for these Tuesday lives, which is Wednesday because I didn't get to go live yesterday. It is questions@yakiawaken.com. All right. yakiawaken.com is the website. Questions@yakiawaken.com is the actual email for you can mail us in your questions and we'll answer them in the order they receive. Okay. All right, let's get it. It says, I need help getting started. Unsure what herbs to buy and which ones would be most effective for me. To sum everything up, the past decade or so, I have more than neglected my body health-wise. I've been eating. I have bad eating habits. That's the first thing that's gonna do it, brother. I smoke tobacco. I drink alcohol. I do drugs, and I'm sleeping with countless women unprotected. Yeah, this stuff will do it for you, brother. Different flu shots and etc. I just want to detox from any infections or viruses I may have accumulated over these last few years from this detrimental lifestyle. Please, I would appreciate your earliest convenience if you would get back with me with some herbs I should buy. Looking to purchase ASAP. Thanks. All right, let's start here, brother. The first thing you're going to have to do, brother, is change your environment. I mean, everything that you said, you're going to have to change that to get back to where you're going. The bad eating habits, you need to stop eating ASAP, especially if you've been having sex unprotected for a long time with many different women. You most definitely need to cleanse. You're going to need a deep cleanse because you have to cleanse that mucosa membrane of the penis. Look at penis right here, y'all. Now, when you actually look at this penis and you open this penis up, right? Let's look on the inside. On the inside, you have the prostate. This will be the prostate. Then, of course, you got the gallbladder. Now, look, y'all see this layer of skin, or what we're going to call cells? This is the mucosa membrane lining the urethra, or what you're going to call your urine tract or your urinary tract out of your penis. So this inflammation literally happens around the urethra. See that? All of these epithelial cells right here, these meso cells right here get inflamed because they're full of mucus. The inflammation of these things cause literally a mucus response. Now, it's usually due to acids. A lot of people never knew why it burns when you have an STD. The STD is not burning you. It's the acids that's produced by the environment that's burning you. You literally pissing 3.5 on a potential hydrogen scale. That's what feels like razor blades coming out the tip of that penis. But notice that mucous membrane is the lymphatic system. Well, what do the lymphatic system deals with? What side of the chemistry or what side of nature the lymphatic system deals with? It deals with the acidic side of nature. It deals with the protein. It deals with the so-called viruses. It deals with the so-called bad bacterium. That's why we constantly have to move lymph. If you constantly move your lymph, there's no such thing as catching a STD or any type of disease because you're constantly getting rid of it by way of the mucosa membrane. But if the mucosa membrane is stagnant and it's holding all the bacteria, it's holding all your acids, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn. You peeing 3.5 pH. You see that? So this is where all STDs is really at. All STDs is really at. And the crazy thing about your mucosa membrane is that you have all of these trooper cells, T cells and B cells, phagocytes and lymphocytes and stuff like that, that lives inside the mucosa membrane, and it comes out and it checks every antigen, it checks every protein, it checks everything that comes inside of the body. And if it check it, and if it's something that it don't like it kill it and take it to the lymph node by way of bacteria will further eat that down to get it out of the body. But the cell is going to have something called a cellular memory. It will register it in the cellular memory book. And then from there, it will build an antibody to it. That's why when you go to the doctor and they check you for HPV or HIV or HSV, notice they're not actually checking the actual virus. They're checking if the body built antibodies for it. Yes, that's what they're checking. All this happened by way of the mucosal membrane or this cholesterol-based system that's called the lymphatic system. Notice I haven't heard or went over the immune system yet because it simply does not exist. So yeah, you most definitely need to cleanse your mucous membrane. Tobacco, you're going to most definitely need to cleanse your lungs. So remember when I showed y'all the lymphatic mannequin, right? Most of the lymph nodes inside the lungs, the groin, in the gut, and right in the neck and the back of the cerebellum. That's where most of your issues always happen at. Notice most of your issues are gut problems, growing problems, hormone problems, right? Or something going on inside from your neck on up. Thyroid, brain problems, cerebellar problems, frontal lobe problems. Notice wherever you accumulate the most lymph nodes at, that's where your manifestation of disease at. That's why Dr. Sebi said whenever he's seen mucus, he's seen disease. That's because mucus is the lymphatic system. It's the big helper. Whenever it sees any type of acids, it rushes to that area to try to come put out the fire. Only thing is you never change your environment. So what happens is more mucus come. This is called excessive mucus buildup, and then you drown the damn cell. The cell literally loses its oxygen and dies because it can't breathe. You are suffocating your cells with your own waste, things that you are eating. Then these things break down and all the environment change within the cellular structure. And this is your bed host of viruses, disease, bacteria, and all the other bullshit names that they named up. It all happened from within, though. It all happened from within. All right, alcohol. So, man, so look, he said he got bad eating habits. He smoked. He drink alcohol. We're going to have to cleanse his liver. And the bad thing about alcohol is in Hebrew, it's called algal. Or in Arabic, it's called algal. It literally means flesh-eating spirit. This thing dehydrates the shit out of your body, and it shrinks your brain 3 times its size from when you first developed your mature brain, showing you what alcohol actually do to the water that's in your body. Your body is made of 88% water. Your head alone is made of 78% water. So if you put that together, you are made with nothing but water. Water is one of the major processes into cellular adenosine triphosphate. This is called cellular respiration, where you get most of your energy from. You need water to get that energy. You need electrolytes to get that energy. You need carbon dioxide to get that energy. These are your carbon chain constituents. So imagine alcohol that's coming in and then vaporizing all the water inside your body. That's why most people that drink the next day, they're dehydrated, their lips chapped. You see that? They lips chapped and everything, because alcohol literally destroys the cells because it evaporates the water that keeps the cells elastic. Drugs, that's liver. It says sleeping with countless women unprotected. Yeah, you need a whole entire body cleanse, brother. What I think you really need to do is switch to an all-fruit diet, and you need my geogenetic therapy level 1. Geogenetic therapy level 1. It says different flu shots. That's going to be liver again. Detrimental to my lifestyle. So yeah, that's what I recommend you do, brother. I mean, at this particular point, you done change your environment of your body. So I'm pretty sure you got some nasty parasitics living within inside of you. I'm pretty sure you got some things that are not good that's inside of you, gnarly chemistry, gnarly acids burning your cells. But the good thing is, if we open them kidneys up and get them kidneys filtrating right, we better get this thing up out of you. Yeah, all fruit diet, hydrate that body, get them electrolytes, get them biophotons, get them flavonoids, get all them healing modalities from your fruits. I wouldn't even do vegetables. I do nothing but fruits and take herbs until you completely healed of whatever you got going on. And then we are partnership with a lot of different blood analysis companies all across the US. We can take you and get you tested after your cleanse. So get the geogenetic therapeutic package level 1 and let's go from there. If y'all got any questions according to this particular case, let me know now. Y'all make sure y'all like and y'all share this video. Share this video, and let's keep it going. If y'all got any question according to this particular case, though, y'all can ask and we can answer. Any questions? If not, type in some 9s and we'll keep it going. And I'm going to answer some of y'all questions when we get done with these. Queen Erica. It's called the Geogenetic Therapeutic Package. It's on the website, Queen. Geogenetic Therapeutic Package. I'll text it to you. All right, so we all good. All right, we're gonna keep going. Here go the next question. All right, it says gangrene. Gangrene is cellulose. It says my father is 82 years old in a hospital with gangrene and cellulose in his mid calf to his foot. He had a diabetic ulcer. Oh, so now we see where the gangrene came from. It came from the lack of oxygen. Remember, when the cell lacks oxygen, the cell goes through something called cellular apoptosis. This is when the cell begins to die. It says he had a diabetic ulcer on his second toe. As a result, his toe has turned complete black. He has a little high blood pressure, cholesterol. Yes, of course. And I'm going to explain it to y'all. A case of psychosis. All right, we know what this is talking about. That's under control. Now, peep what's going on with him. So whenever you have diabetes, right? Diabetes is connected directly to the pancreas, but regulates your blood will be your pancreas, right? But inside of your pancreas, inside of this pancreas duct, you have something called the islets of Langerhans. Let me get it for y'all. I can show y'all. Get a good pancreas. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me grab a pancreas real quick. Let me hold this camera again. I might as well show them this. I might as well start showing them this stuff. Let me show y'all this. So we see he got a bad case of gangrene, right? Now let me show y'all how this happens, right? We taking off the lungs. We're gonna take out the liver. All right, we're gonna take off the stomach, right? Now notice when I take out this stomach, if you can zoom in on it right there, the zoom in is that TW. Yep, hit that right there. Yep. Now notice this pancreas. Let me give me something to point. Now this is the pancreas. Notice that the pancreas sit right behind the stomach and is connected to the liver and the gallbladder all the way up to the spleen. This will be your spleen. Your spleen is a lymphatic organ. Now check this pancreas out. Inside of this pancreas, these are called the islets of Langerhans, right? Now the islets of Langerhans have over 3 different cellular structures. You have the alpha cells. The alpha cells is in control of your glycogen or your glycagon sugar. This is what brings your sugar up in your blood by way of the adrenal glands. Notice what I'm saying. By way of the adrenal glands. Get that kidney. All these things are controlled by these adrenal glands that I'm finna talk about. All right, the adrenal glands is what sit on top of the kidneys. Back it up just a little bit. These are your kidneys right here, right? On top of the kidneys, you have the adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands is in control of your steroid hormones. It's in control of your melanin neurotransmitters. It's control of your autonomic nervous system, your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Notice the prefix of that word, auto. These are your things that run on auto, like your blood sugar. That's something that runs automatically. Your salts, your steroids. That's something that runs automatically. Your breathing of the pumps that you call the respiratory system, your lungs. You don't have to practice breathing. That runs automatically. Your digestive system, your food breaking down circadian rhythm times, that runs automatically. Your biological clock that's in each organ of your body, that runs automatically. Your heart beating, boom, 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 that runs automatically. All these things are controlled by the adrenal glands, right? Now, since we understand that, type in some 9s real quick, and then I'm going to show you how diabetes works and the reason why he got gangrene. If you get that so far, type in some 9s. All these things are ran by the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system is controlled by the adrenal glands. These are wall pyramid shaped like structures that sit on top of both kidneys. All right. All right. Now they got that. Now, since we know right now that the pancreas is ran, because remember, whenever you look in the human anatomy of the human body is made up of 150 trillion cells, right? Blood, it feeds all these cells of the body, right? The lymphatic system cleanse all the cytotoxemia, cleanse all the microbiomes, the bad microbiomes, cleans all of the bad dead skin cells, blood cells. That's what the lymphatic system do. So the blood cleanses the cells of the body. The lymphatic system the blood feeds the cells of the body all the phytonutrients. The lymphatic system cleanses the cells of the body from all the byproducts. But then you have something called the nervous system. The nervous system is what communicates with all the cells of the body by way of melanin neuron transmitters, and it tells the body what to do. So you will have a nerve system inside of this pancreas, inside of the islands of Langerhans, that'll communicate with a cell and tell the alpha cells, hey, produce glycogen. So what happens, it'll produce it, and then it will secrete by way of the adrenal glands. Remember, by way of the adrenal glands, it will secrete glycogen sugar inside the blood. Now the blood sugar will go up. Well, what happens is the body is always trying to maintain a balance of homeostasis in the body. So now you have something called beta cells right here in the islands of Langerhans, a part of the kidneys. Your beta cells produces something called insulin. Now you got salt, now you got sugar. I mean, you got sugar, which is glycogen. Now you got salt, which is insulin. Now, again, the adrenal glands is going to holler by way of nerves. Neurotransmitters going to communicate with the pancreas, with the beta cells, which inside of islands of Langerhans, and it's going to tell your insulin to raise up in the blood. Now, insulin and sugar is going to go through a battle, and then your blood is going to be literally at a balance of homeostasis, where you don't have high blood pressure nor high or low blood pressure, which you don't have high blood sugar nor low blood sugar. Then you have something called the delta cells. That's literally at the pancreas cortex, at the end of it, the tail end of the pancreas cortex. What this produces something called somatostatin. This is produced of glycogen, it's produced with insulin, and it's a pituitary hormone, a pituitary growth hormone, showing you that if you do not properly digest your food by way of these 400 enzymes that the pancreas produce by way of the nervous system, which is produced by what again? The adrenal glands, that it can stunt your growth by your pituitary. See, the body is holistically, everything is holistically connected here. Now, the thing is, if you get too much sugar inside of your blood, sugar breaks down into fats. Fats break down and make up most of your cholesterol. This creates something called cholesterol plaque buildup inside of the arteries, right? Now, if I get cholesterol plaque buildup inside of this artery vein right here, this makes the vein becomes very, very, very stressed out. Now, what mucus does, mucus sucks up water. Remember, it suffocates the cell. So if it's going to suffocate the cell and the water leaves the cell, then the cell becomes dehydrated. Now, since this artery becomes dehydrated, it comes very, very hard. Now, when the blood comes through this artery, it presses against the artery very hard and it raises the blood pressure. Not only do you have high blood pressure, but you got high sugar. Now, you got sugar and you don't have water, but you got sugar and you got salt. Going back through the sugar salt fighting balance, the pancreas get weak and then it just stopped producing all of them at once. So now you got all the sugar residue just left over inside of the artery, inside of the venous system. Now, what happens to the sugar when it breaks down? These sugars break down into fructose and glucose. These fructose and glucose, if it stays inside of the cell, it leaves a fructose and glucose ash that look like starch. Now you got sticky ass starch inside of the vein. Now remember, inside of the arteries is actually where oxygen goes to give to each cell. So since the arteries is full of mucousy, sticky starch and cytotoxemia, oxygen can't get to certain parts of the body. Now, if oxygen cannot get to certain parts of the body, what happens? These cells suffocate and they start to die. That's where you get gangrene from. That's why his toenail is turning black, because literally he's not getting any oxygen because he have too much built up sugar that came from his pancreas and hepatic duct. And now the sugar is sitting in the arteries. Now the mucus that came in and try to save the day because it deals with the acid side of chemistry. Now the arteries is blocked and he's not getting any oxygen through, specifically through his toes. So then the toe died because it lacks oxygen. Now, look, check this out. Let me show you. If you change the chemistry and if you change the environment, the microbiota changed. What broke down the toe? We know that the lack of oxygen is what caused the toe to break down. But what broke it down? What's causing the hole in the toe? Y'all got it right. The microbiota and acids. What deals with the acid? What deals with the gnarly side of chemistry? What binds things together? What breaks things apart? What chew through cells? What chew through flesh? Is it alkalinity? Not only no, but hell no. It's acids, y'all. Acids, showing you that sugar left over become acidic. You see that? That's why the adrenal glands is so important, y'all. These are some of, what did I do with my kidney, love? This is one of the most important gland on your body. because this literally controls your corticosteroids, your steroids, your sugar, your salts, your melanin neurotransmitter. This is the pump, huh?
Show them the other one.
Yeah, this literally is the pump of the kidney. This is the pump of the kidney. Reason why it sits on top of the kidneys. So all cleansing and all healing happen by way of kidney filtration. All right. These kidneys hold something called nephrons in it. Inside each nephron, you have 1 million nephrons in each kidney. This is 2 million nephrons. Each nephron is a filtration system, and it's a balancer of pressure, because your body is a combustion chamber. Well, when these things are full of gnarly acids and mucus, the blood cannot be filtered, so it backs up. Not only that, but the pancreas giving out, so it backs up even more. Now I got sugar and salts and shit just sitting in the blood that can't be utilized because the thing that's in charge of my utilization is not working because they are down. I'm adrenal fatigue because all the acids that's in my body and my lymphatic system ain't working because my kidneys backed up and they're not filtrating. These things sit in the blood and corrode the cells of the blood. Once the arteries become corroded, that pathway has become blocked. If that pathway become blocked, then you have circulation problems. When you have circulation problems and oxygen rise on that red blood cell molecule called iron phosphate, now oxygen cannot get through each extremities of the body, so shit starts to die. So now the gut microbe that was in the gut helping break down your food, now we got to come break down the damn big toe because the big toe ain't getting oxygen. You see how the microbiota changes its role due to the environment you put in? Did this start from the outside or did this start within the body, y'all? Let me know right now. Did this start from the outside of the body or did this start on the inside of the body? Huh? Did this start on the outside of the body or did this start on the inside of the body? Yes, it did. The inside. That's right, Mika. That's right, Prince. That's right, Janetta. Ahmed Clark. That's right, y'all. Antonio Perez. Sus Ray. That started on the inside. So we have to get rid of germ theory. We have to get rid of the virus theory, the bacteria theory, theory after theory after theory. What the body does not eliminate, it accumulates. And what the body accumulates is what they call your manifestation of disease by way of symptoms. They will find the location, they will find a doctor name, they will stick that shit together, and then you will have a word called hyperglycemia, diabetes mellitus, which means sweet urine, lymphoma cancer, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. These are named after old white men. They found the location, they found the symptom, which where the mucus was at. They put they white names on them, and that's your disease. When that's not disease at all. Disease is an illusion. What really exists is cause and effect, y'all. That's what exists. The environment that you put your genetic cells in, then the gene expressed by way of the environment where it's cultivated. That's all disease is. Change the environment, change your genetic markers. Change your environment, change your whole entire perception of disease. So now we see that this brother of ours, he got gangrene and his toe is dying because he's lacking oxygen, right? Let's keep reading. It says, as a result, his toe turned complete black. He has a little high blood pressure. I just showed y'all how the high blood pressure works. High blood pressure. You have something called systolic. Systolic is the top number. It should be 120. Systolic, adrenals. Always remember that. Systolic means adrenals. The bottom number is diastolic. Diastolic is where you get dialysis from. Kidneys. So your blood pressure, it depends on what, y'all? Your adrenal glands and your kidneys. The top number shows you how much electrical conductivity you're producing in your body. It can either be hyperactive or hypoactive. If you got 110 or lower, you're very, very hypoactive. That means that your melanin neurotransmitters are not connecting with every cell in your body correctly. Then you have something called hyperactive. That means it's so energetic that you stopping and missing cells and shit. The melanin neurotransmitters moving so fast that they forget simple tasks. For simple tasks. Like, hey, go holler at the pancreas and tell it to tell it to lower its blood sugar. It'll miss that task because it's too hyperactive. Then the kidneys, the pressure building up in the kidneys because it's not processing the proteins and the meats that you've been eating because you Your physiology was not created to eat meat. So you eat these proteins, and these proteins can't be broken down by the hydrochloric acid. So it passed through, and then it goes through the kidney for processing, and it starts tearing shit up inside of the kidneys. Now you have nephrosis, nephritis, inflammation of the kidneys. Now you cannot filter the very lymphatic system and interstitial fluid that was created to cleanse all the byproducts and toxemia off of your cells. So now your cells take the blowback and take the hit, and then when your cell die, you start dying. All right, let's keep reading. I hope y'all really getting this. Your normal blood pressure would be 120 over 60 for real. 120 over 60. Remember, when you go to the doctor, they treat you like a 40-year-old white man. So yours, African man, African woman, so-called African man, African woman, is 120 over 160. That's what it's really supposed to be. They'll let you get away with it at 170, but that's a white man's blood pressure. But ours, we have literally evolved into high blood pressures due to the environment that our cells been put in. We are in a fight or flight mode, runaway slaves over here working 9 to 5s, being under the elites, under this deep state. So we constantly producing adrenaline and adrenochrome by way of our adrenals producing this melanin called adrenochrome. So our blood pressures are naturally high now, and we're operating very, very good off of high blood pressures because our ancestors been passing down these high blood pressure genes for millenniums now. So now, I mean, babies are coming out 130 over 110 and look completely fine because the cells learn to adapt to the environment. Unless the environment is just harsh as fuck, and then it can't live at all, so it would choose to die. See, the purpose of a cell is to pass down genetic information. That's what the DNA is. It's to pass on information, whether that be etheric, spiritual, emotional, or physically. If it can't pass it down those way, then that means that the environment is not suitable for the cell. So then it would choose its next, basically, environmental state, and that's death. That way it can live etheric. See that's what cells do. If it can't live physical, it will live etheric. That's why you have something called phantom syndrome. Have you ever heard of phantom syndrome? Phantom syndrome is when people at war, they blow off a limb or they get surgery and get their legs or something cut off, but they still have pain where the leg was at, showing you that the spiritual body truly exists inside of the physical body. Phantom syndrome. Look it up if y'all think I'm bullshit. It's called phantom syndrome. This is a real disease. It's where your body remembers. The body remembers the etheric body is still there, even though that the physical part of the body is gone, showing you how spiritual you is. So we pass down genetic codes and frequencies and DNA information etherically and spiritually in this gasified form, the things that you can't see way before it manifests in the physical realm. That's why emotions in your environment and getting physically and getting verbally abused, hearing that you ain't shit all your life, hearing that you will never amount to nothing. This is acidic. This will actually play a toll on your physical body because the mind manifests the body. The body did not create and manifest the mind. Make sense? All right, let's keep going. All right. It says also he's legally blind. That ain't nothing but a biomucosa film over his eyes. Some eye bright will take care of that. Unless he have too much mucus on the back of his octave lobe and it done detach that octave lobe from the back of that iris, then he can be blind that way too. But notice all this is a mucus cholesterol based problem. The reason why mucus is there is because acid's there. Mucus will never overstimulate itself if it doesn't have acid to come and swallow up. So whenever you see a mucosa stimulant response, know the acids is high inside the body. Whenever you see high cholesterol, that's a mucosa response. Acid is high inside the body. See that? That's all it is, family. We have to change our perception of disease. They have y'all thinking high cholesterol is a bad thing. Yes, it will cause cholesterol plaque and give you a heart attack and stroke. But why is it there? It's there to try to help you. Same thing as the bacteria, same thing as the parasitics and the microbiota. It's just that when the environment changes, these things can become more harmful than the good that they was created to do and be when it's within inside the right location of your body. All right. So what you're going to need, brother, you most definitely need to get the geogenetic. You need to get the geogenetic therapeutic package level 1 for him with an all fruit juice diet. I wouldn't even put him on raw fruits. He need the juice. That way he can get all the oxygen by way of that juice extractor to break through all of everything, the fructose, the cellulose, anything that's on that fruit, that fiber. He did break through all of that and get straight the liquid form of that oxygen, liquid oxygen to them cells. And with inside of that, you need to get my my upper circulatory high and my lower circulatory. That way he can get blood to these toes. And if he get blood to the toes, potentially he'll be getting oxygen to the toes too, and that will revitalize that toe. We didn't have people thyroids grow back, y'all. We didn't grow a whole thyroid back. So I know for a fact that we can grow back toenails and toes and stuff like that. If I can grow back a thyroid, we can grow back everything else. It's just that people don't allow their bodies to heal. They start feeling better, then they start eating bullshit again, or they stop taking the herbs, or they want to have these quick celebrating moments. You can't celebrate once you test negative. You can't celebrate once you see something grow back, because it might be some cytotoxemias in the back of these cells that you got to further cleanse. See, cleansing is a journey, y'all. This is not nothing quick. I know that y'all see on my Facebook page that we done healed people of herpes within 30 days, and they give their testimonies. But guess what? They didn't start eating messed up after their 30 days. They kept on their diet for another 2 months, sometimes 3, to make sure that they got everything else that was behind themselves. You see that? Make sure they got all the metals, the aluminum melts, and all these other things that's going to compromise their mucous membrane. If y'all got any questions so far with this particular case, y'all can ask them with this particular case. Could you come in another coconut? Anything for this particular case? If not, type in some 9s and we'll move on to the next one. All right, we got a good one. Antonio Perez says, how would he use the eye bright to help his eyes? He would make it out of a tea. He'll make it out of a tea. Once he make the eye bright out of a tea, he would strain it. When it cooled to room temperature, he would get an eyeglass. He would put that into the eyeglass, and he would literally rinse his eyes. He would do this 3 times a day. And I mean, he'll wake up, his whole eye will be closed because all the mucus plaque that came from out of his eye, showing you that it's just a mucosal response. Mucus is not the cause of disease, y'all. The lack of oxygen, the deprivation of oxygen is, but the deprivation of oxygen is because of the mucosal membrane stimuli. What else we got? Tamika Holmes, my sister, how you doing, my beloved sister? Hey, it was beautiful meeting you at the seminar. Beautiful meeting you, your children, and your husband. Shalom, shalom. Would he be able to restore the foot? Yes, he would if he get oxygen back. I mean, you see us, we'll fall off a bike and break a bone. With the right oxygen and the right phytonutrients, our bone calcium matrix will grow back. You see us, we'll get a scab on our knee, it'll grow back. Gunshot wounds, they close, they heal from the outside in. Toenails, you cut them, they grow back, they regenerate themselves. Baby teeth, they fall out and new teeth come in. Hair replaces itself. Cells die and reproduce themselves by way of melatonin and serotonin in the gut every single hour of the day. So if the body regenerates itself on a level like that, of course you can grow a toe back. It's just people do not go back into them environments. We have to realize that the evolutional change we go through as embryo inside of the stomach, whenever we're in the placenta of our mothers and Rahim, inside of this matrix holographic universe, inside of our mamas and our women. Notice the first thing start off is we got tails. We start off aquatic. We start off like fish inside of fluid. And inside this fluid, we grow gills, we grow limbs, we grow tails. These tails shortens and turns into the spinal cord. These gills shorten and becomes the respiratory system. Then we grow something called the reptilian brain. So if you even look inside of the womb of a mother and you study that baby from the first day all the way up until it becomes a fetus and an infant, notice that baby went through all the basically evolutionary changes as every other aquatic animal that was created in that sea in Genesis chapter 1 before it became a man. And I know y'all don't like hearing it, but just look at it. You will see the fetus with gill-like structures. You will see the fetus with a tail. When it on that hind gut or that hind primitive gut tube, it forms a tail. You will see it with the reptilian brain that's still called the reptilian brain today. So all of these different species that's in the world are created within inside of you, whether you want to admit that fact or not. Now, do I believe in evolution outside of the womb of a black mother? No, I don't. That's called evolution. I don't believe in a Darwin theory or nothing like that. But do I believe in an evolution process inside of a woman's womb? Yes, I do, and I can prove it without a shadow of a doubt if anybody want to try to debunk this. So we have reptilian type of skin and cells inside of our bodies. And what I've noticed very interesting by a reptile, which we have a reptilian brain, you can look it up. What I noticed that's very interesting about a reptile, you can cut a reptilian leg off, and guess what it would do? It would grow back. You can cut a reptilian tail off. Guess what it would do? It would grow back. You can cut a hamster tail off. Guess what it would do? It would grow back. So if my toe get cut off, if I put my cells back into the right environment, guess what my toe would do? It would grow back. It's called regeneration or resurrection. It truly exists, y'all. It truly exists. And that's the science that we're trying to get into. So evolution process inside of the womb of a woman, it's totally understandable, and I agree with it 100%. Evolution outside of the woman's womb is called evolution. It don't exist whatsoever, unless we talk about conscious evolution. That is an evolution process. But as far as the body, I really don't believe that, because then we got to say we came from monkeys and all of that when we didn't. We were the first prokaryotic original cells here on this planet, and we'll be the last prokaryotic original cells on this planet if this ever ends, which it won't. But if it did, we will be the first and the last to ever exist, the so-called black man and black woman, because ye are God. All right, let's see what we else got. All right, I think y'all got that. All right, so let's move on to the next question. All right, next question is this. It says, I have bad hair loss, almost bald for the past 25 years. I need some help. Could you please help me? All right, so the first thing I'm going to say is, what makes you go bald? Huh? What makes you go bald? If you look inside of a leukemia ward, if you go into a hospital, you go look at them 2-year-olds, right? And you look at them 2-year-olds and you examine a body, the first thing that you're going to see is you're going to see bald heads. Head is bald all the way down to the skull, ain't it? Now, what happened and why are them children bald? What burnt their hair out to make them bald like that? That's right, Judah Mac, acids. The acids that came from a mustard gas therapy called chemotherapy. You see that? This damaged the nervous system. Your hair is an extension of your nervous system. When you get acids on the nervous system, wherever the hair grow, whether it's internally or externally, guess what happens? It literally burns the hair follicles that's on these particular organs or on these epithelial cells. So whenever you see a bad bald head, that's acids that's created by foods, that's created by vaccinations, that's created by bleaches, that's created by your cleansing products, that's created by shit you putting in your head that are not natural products. These acids accumulate, and then it literally burns your nervous system because your hair is connected to your nervous system. These are antennas. These are dimple antennas too, just like the dendrites in your brain. It connects you through to the etheric cosmos. This is how you pray. This gives you strength. In the Bible, Samson, he was strong because of what? His hair, his locks. This connects you to the heavens. So the reason why you're losing your antennas is because your environment, you're eating too many acids, and acids burn your hair away. You want to prove my theory wrong? All you have to do is go to the hospitals and look at what chemotherapy does. The first thing it do is dry out your skin and burn out your hair. The reason why chemotherapy do that, because it literally is a chemical therapy. You check the pH hydrogen on chemotherapy, it's between 1.5 and 3.1. That shit burns. It will burn a hole in the concrete. So of course it'll burn the hair off your head. Same thing that happens when your cells are going through its processes. It creates chemistry that's acidic in nature that your lymphatic system need to pick up and leave. But since your lymphatic system is not working because your kidneys are not filtering, then this acidic ash just sits on your cell and burns out your hair. So what you would need the nervous system, the brain and nervous system kit to cleanse all the mucus or the mucosal response from off the nervous system. And you would need our hair miracle oil from off the site. That's what you would need. All right. I most definitely do this on an all fruit diet. Let me see if this was a woman. Was this a woman? They ain't even say it. I don't even know if it's a woman now, but that's what you would need. Also, my face break out for most of my life and leave black spots.
That was a woman.
That was a woman?
Yep.
Yeah, sister, that's what you would need. Yep. Okay, I see her name right here. Okay, and the reason why your face is breaking out again is because you backed up lymphatically. Whenever you backed up lymphatically and your cells have to take a poop, well, you have three main organs on your body. They're called eliminating organs. This is one, this is two, and your third kidney is your skin. So if your two kidneys are not processing or not eliminating all the cellular waste, then your skin is going to take a hit, because your skin take a poop. If it's called fontanelles, I tell y'all this every time I go live, fontanelles, which is our alternative route of elimination. If your kidneys are not going to eliminate and go down and then go into the urethra and then get rid of all this metabolic toxic waste, then your skin will get rid of it for you. That's why sweating is so important. That's why skin pores is so important, because these things open up for you can eliminate your micro accumulation of toxemia. So whenever you see bumps, measles, psoriasis, any type of manifestation of skin rashes or disease, your skin is literally taking a poop. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You might need to do some skin brushing to open it up more though. So yeah, that's what I recommend for you to do. You need to cleanse your whole system though and get them kidneys filtering. Open up them kidneys, get the lymphatic system moving, and that's what's going to get rid of all of these problems. If y'all got any questions so far, according to this particular case, y'all can go and ask it. That's right, Tatiana Cook, not enough oxygen to the hair follicles. That's exactly what it is, because what the oxygen brings the nutrients, the phytonutrients, the carbon constituent factor. That's what it brings. But when acids come into play, acid burns. Not only is it going to evaporate, remember what in biochemistry, what acid does, these are protons. They borrow all the electrolytes, all the electrons. So what a proton or a protein or acid does, it kills the alkaline state. It's going to kill the oxygen. And then what's going to set in? Carbon dioxide. That's an acid. That's a byproduct. These acids will burn the hair follicles and literally burn the hair right from your nervous system. So yeah, good job. Good job, Tatiana Cook. Hold on. Y'all asking a lot of questions about here. I just seen it. Let me see. Do you change anything in their diet? Yeah, if y'all notice what I'm saying, I keep saying all fruit diet. All fruit diet. Dang, I thought I seen it. Where is your products? The products on the website is under store. Click on store. That's where all the products at. It's a big old tab that says store. All right, so Candace said, what do skin brushing do? Skin brushes cause your skin to eliminate the metabolic waste that it built up. Not only does it does that, but it starts to move and cause promotion of movement inside the lymphatic system to get that lymphatic lymph to drain to them kidneys. So if you want to move lymph, most definitely skin brush. Taking hot and cold showers also do that as well. Eating hot soup and then following up with like cold water, or backwards, do hot water with cold soup. That'll get it jump started as well. Getting in a sauna and sweating through that sauna and then immediately taking a cold shower, that get it as well. And herbs and eating fruits. These are what promotes lymphatic movement. Motion does it as well. You know, these promote lymphatic movements. Small workouts, nothing that's too gnarly that's gonna cause a acidic environment, like push-ups, sit-ups, running, walking. This causes lymphatic movement. The lymphatic moves in motion. The reason why it moves so damn slow through hundreds of miles of lymphocyte veins is because it's going through checkpoints, like somebody going to the airport. You got to pass the TSA. Through this TSA, you got to take your bags off, take your socks off, take your shoes off, because you might be disguising as somebody else. So that's what the phagocytes and the lymph. Hold on. That's what the phagocytes and the lymphocytes does. They're your TSA checkpoint. Whenever a foreigner or invader invades the body by way of the cell and come in the body by way of your food and your digestive and the duodenum, what they do is emerge from the lymphatic system and say, hey, take off your shoes, take off your clothes, open your suitcase and put it on the rubber like belt. We got to take a look at it. If it don't check out, they lock it up and they take it to the lymph nodes and kill it, and then it get processed out through the kidneys by way of urine. If it do check out, then they let it get on the plane. The plane take it to different places of the world. But if we're gonna speak in the human anatomy, the plane will actually be the cell or the blood, and it will take it to different cells in your body to deliver its phytonutrients. I hope I explained that right for you. So that's what skin brushing do. What else we got? That's brothers, hundreds of miles of lymph system. Yeah, okay. I wish I can come to the healing house. Come on in. Come on to it. All right, we're going to move on to one more question, and then I'm going to start asking questions for y'all. Matter of fact, I hit these questions next week. We still got a lot. So I'm going to start asking questions from y'all, because I still got a whole lot of questions to go through. I can hit them next week. All right. What y'all got for me? I'm going to answer a few questions for y'all, and I'm going to get up out of here. If y'all got some understanding, overstanding, and understanding so far, type in some 9s. If y'all got some understanding, overstanding, and understanding so far, type in some 9s. All right, all praises. All right, here go the first question. What about alopecia? We just went over that, sister. It's the same thing. You're dealing with acids. You're dealing with scarred skin tissue due to the epithelial cells, due to gnarly acids, and due to the lack of oxygen. We just went over how to get rid of that, though. It's going to be the same exact thing. All right, who we got? Yaki, how much water do you drink? How much water is too much to drink? Thank you for your dedication, bro. Vic, how much water do you think I drink a day?
Probably like at least 60-something ounces.
Yeah, I drink at least 64 ounces, but most of my water consists of like coconuts, and consists of juices. I really actually drink water anymore. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
I really actually drink water anymore. I drink a lot of, so water is made up of H2O. I drink a lot of H3O2, which is fruit juices. I juice a lot. And if I'm not drinking the liquid water of the fruits, then from juicing, then I drink a lot of coconuts. But don't get me wrong, every now and then I go down a gallon of distilled water or some spring water. But I'm just not interested into that anymore. Once we study this so much and notice the chemical compounds from it and what they're doing to it, I like to sip and drink nutrients, my nutraceuticals, and you get that from your fruit juices and from coconuts and stuff like that, or from a tit of a woman. I'm too old to suck on a tit. And this literally is equivalent to mother's milk. This is equivalent to a mother's breast. The same exact constituents and phytonutrients in the coconut. This will be the tit of the mother of earth, which will be your coconuts. And then fruits as well. If you can get you a good juicer, a real good juicer, and get that right amount of phytonutrients out of them juices, you don't need regular water. I mean, I really don't drink regular water. I drink H3O2 and I drink coconut water. And I drink it about 60 ounces a day to 64 ounces or more. What else we got? All right, Maisha Robin says, Maisha Roden. Hello, Yaki. How to cleanse my 2-year-old lymph system? He has swollen lymph nodes in his neck. Swollen lymph nodes in his neck, meaning that his lymphatic system that they stupidly call the immunological system is fighting a battle. Fighting a battle. Whenever it's a lot of activity going on within inside the lymphatic system, they become inflamed. So he just need an extra push. Give him the week 1 and 2. He need the week 1 and 2 geogenetic package. It's a protocol, week 1 and 2, and he'll take it according to his weight and put him on an all fruit diet. All right, put him on an all fruit diet. But whenever you see them lymph nodes swelling up, that's because a lot of fight is going on. All that fight start going on inside this thing. They start getting inflamed because you got a lot of working going on up in here. Remember, this is the germinal terminal. The germinal terminal, which means it's a terminal where all the germs are at, just waiting. You see how they leaving? They're leaving a terminal and going out through white blood cells, looking for something to beat up. That's what they do. Looking for something to check, to cross-check, to reference. They'll create an antigen or anything. They'll create an antibody, but they love eating on bad bacteria and they love eating on acids. That's what they love to eat on. That's why the lymph nodes are good, and that's why you should never have anybody cut your lymph nodes out. Breast cancer, when they talk about biopsy and all that, get the hell out of here. I don't need none of that. I'm finna go cleanse my body. So put him on a geogenetic therapeutic protocol week 1 and 2. Take it according to his weight. Take it according to his weight with an all fruit diet. All right. Hopefully I answered that for you. But whenever you see them lymph nodes swollen, that means it's a fight going down. Sabil Reed said recommend a juicer. I like the Pure. If y'all can't afford the Pure, we got another one called Green Star Elite, which is another one. We gave away a Green Star Elite last year. It's about $600 now. Mm-hmm. Very, very good one. But the best one is the Pure. The best one is a Pure. All right. Sulfur Burns. That means you got a lot of sulfur in your gut. Chanel, you gotta cleanse out that sulfur. Usually sulfur come from medication and come from antibiotics. I would like to see your eyes and read your irises and do an iridology read on you to see where that sulfur is actually built up at. Usually it's in the small intestinal tract and it's in the transverse colon. So you would need to get my digestive system kit and to cleanse that colon out, because that sulfur plaques itself up on the bowel wall along with mucus due to the calcification of calcium. Because sulfur will pull calcium from all your bone matrix. So that's what you got going on. So if you feel it on burps, that means your cardiac sphincter, which is the doorway to the stomach. So this is the stomach right here. And what happens is it lines up with the esophagus. And then this part literally goes into the duodenum. Now, right here is a doorway called the cardiac sphincter. You shouldn't be belching none of that up if this doorway was working properly. If this doorway is not working properly, that means you're lacking a mineral called selenium and magnesium, because that stimulates the nervous system by way of the adrenal glands to keep that door open and closed for anything to come up. For instance, like sulfur, your acids, your hydrochloric acid that causes acid reflux and stuff like that. So if you're really trying to get rid of that sulfur, and sulfur literally creates sulfuric acid, so make sure you get that stuff up out of you. Get my digestive system kit, and an all fruit diet. What else we got? This one you says, does heavy drinking compute? Yeah, most definitely. Alopecia, yeah, because what alcohol is nothing but an acid. Alcohol, remember, is a fermentation of sugar. When sugar fermentates itself too much, it becomes a glucose factor. This glucose factor become a glucose ash, and it burns. That's what happens in cellular mitosis. See, that's the reason for chemotherapy causing more cancer in the end, because you get chemotherapy to come in and kill all the good cells and the bad cells, which it does. It will shrink a tumor, but it's going to kill everything because it's so acidic. Notice what it kills. It kills everything but the glucose, which glucose come from fruits and vegetables too. So the glucose get left behind, but the glucose have nothing to take it inside of the cell. So it sits on the top of the cell wall and it breaks down. When it breaks down, first thing it goes through fermentation. After fermentation, germination. After germination, it turns into fungus. After it turns into fungus, it turns into mold. After it turns into mold, it binds and it splits into the DNA. And then the DNA of that cell dies, and that becomes cellular apoptosis. So yeah, alcohol is a sugar, but sugar not utilized is dangerous as hell. It's like you might put a gun to your head and blow your brains out. Whenever you have any minerals or whenever you have any glucose or fructose factor, it is not being utilized. Because remember, we got 4 keys to the kingdom. You got digestion, you have absorption, you have utilization, and you have elimination. Whatever you digest must be absorbed by the microbiota. Now, once the microbiota absorb it and send it to the bloodstream, the microbiota is going to distribute all of these phytonutrients by way of the bloodstream or by way of the adrenal glands, for you can utilize it through your steroid hormones and your sugars and salts and things like that. If the utilization factor is not working, if it's iron, and iron is not making it up out of the liver, and iron is not making it through the bloodstream to transport oxygen, iron breaks down. The breaking down of that iron turns into bilirubin. That bilirubin can kill you because it starts messing and corroding the liver. That's why you see yellow eyes and get that jaundice color or poop coming out yellow and stuff like that. And it actually messes with your vitamin D3 by way of cholesterol and conversion of your melanin through ultraviolet light through the sun. You see that? The leftover calcium calcifies. That's a bad thing. You see that? That causes calcification. I mean, any mineral, any amino acid, or any sugar, whether it's natural or processed and unnatural, if it's not utilized properly and if it stay in the body, it will harm the body because it's not doing its correct job. The correct job for these things is for utilization, and then last but not least, it must be eliminated. But what the body doesn't eliminate, it accumulate. Now, let's keep it real. If you didn't eliminate it, I mean, if you didn't utilize it and you didn't eliminate it, then that means the last stage or byproduct is still in your body. Like alcohol. Imagine drinking alcohol and your lymphatic system is backed up. That's what causes cirrhosis of the liver. All the glucose fermented and molded the shit out of the liver. Now the liver got holes in it, got fatty lipid acids on it because these things were not utilized, because it came in as a foreign food. If you got what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. Y'all got what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. So yeah, Paul Griffin, heavy drinking will contribute towards that. It will, because glucose and fructose can become acids if the body does not utilize it. Let me say that again. Glucose and fructose can become acids from its germination, fermentation, fungi into mold, into acidic glucose or acidic fructose ash that get left on the cell. It can turn into acids if the adrenal glands do not utilize it. That is most definitely possible. Most definitely. All right. Shana Bonito. I think I said it. Shana Bonito. It says, what foods can a pregnant woman eat to stay healthy? Fruits and vegetables, raw, nothing else. Fruits and vegetables, raw, nothing else. I would never eat nothing cooked. When I have a baby forming inside of my body, I would never eat nothing with grease. I would never eat nothing with salt on it. I would eat nothing but raw fruits and vegetables. That way that baby can get all the healing modalities and constituents that it needs to properly form and go through its evolutionary state-wise inside of the placenta of yours. Nothing else. And nothing but water or fruit juices and coconut water. That's what I recommend. It's 35% hydroperoxide food grade therapy good for your oxygen? Well, I'm gonna let you answer that.
Say it again.
It's 35% hydrogen peroxide food grade therapy good for oxygen?
No.
Not at all. Man, we got so many people coming to us that took that therapy. A lot of people that got herpes coming to us because that is highly, highly alkaline. Now, is it good to rinse your mouth with? Yes. Is it good to put on a sore? Yes. Does it bring oxygen to the cells? Hell yeah. But is it too alkaline? Yes, it is. Too much of that will harm the body. So that's a yes and a no. I would not use it excessively, and I would not be trying to use it to get rid of herpes or nothing like that. It's good to put on your toothbrush to mix with your herbal toothpaste. It's good to even mix with water to wash your mouth with. We use it to cleanse fruits and vegetables and stuff like that with, because it is very sanitationalized and it cleans up things. You can use it on stuff like that. You can use droplets of it with your ears if you got ear infections and stuff like that. But as far as doing it as a hydrogen therapy or oxygen therapy, that is very bad. I would not be sitting in it for too long, like they telling herpes patients to do, to take baths and stuff in it or nothing like that. Because even though it will send oxygen to the cells and you will see promising results, the byproducts in the long run, where everybody's having effects from it, and guess who they coming to? They're coming to Yaki Awaken to get healed of it. So just from experience, I don't recommend it unless you do it how I recommended you to use it. All right, what else we got? All right, here go another one. Lisa D. Brito, I think I said your name right. How do you fight arthritis? So arthritis, you got something called rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis. Arthur stands for articulate surface. This is something that moves on a joint or on an axis. So anything that moves on an axis will be my tendons that's connected to joints. So itis is inflammation. So arthritis just means inflammation inside of my joints. Now, what is arthritis? Arthritis is unutilized minerals, chemicals, and acids that haven't went anywhere. So it's stuck between the joints, literally burning your joints, or you're grinding and rubbing against them and it's starting to tear tendons and it becomes acidic. Now, remember, whatever the body does not eliminate, it accumulates. Remember, the accumulation of all these minerals, whether they're good or bad, whether it's acid, whether it's glucose, fructose, whether it's copper, gold, zinc, selenium, iron phosphate, calcium triphosphate, If the body ain't utilizing it, it becomes bad to you because it breaks down into acid. It's a byproduct. It wastes away. Everything in life wastes away except energy. Everything in life dies and decay except energy. So guess what dies and decay? Minerals. Guess what dies and decay? Amino acids. That's what dies and decay. Nutraceuticals. All these chemicals, these things die and decay inside of the joints, and it becomes acid and it causes inflammation of the joints. Especially imagine having copper built up in your joints and you just moving around it all day. That will burn the hell out of you and it will hurt and it will scar up your ligaments inside of your joints. So what do you need to do? You need to hydrate the body to flush the joints. What is the best foods for hydration? Fruits. Fruits. What is the blessed plumbing system of the body? The lymphatic system. Open up them kidneys, promote kidney filtration. Get on your parsleys, get on your hydrangea roots, get on your bars families, your burdock, your yellow docks, get on your berries, your juniper berries, your saw palazzo berries. Get on these things so you can hydrate the body and you can literally open up these alternative routes of elimination to start getting rid of all these toxic waste. So what the body have accumulated, whether it be unused iron, whether it be unutilized copper, zinc, gold, whether it be unutilized amino acids like arginine, tyrosine, tryptophan, any of these things. Yes, these are good for the body if the body is utilizing it by way of the adrenal glands in the bloodstream. But it's not going to do you no good packed between bones, packed between joints. That shit burns and it hurts. So to get rid of that is hydrating the body and most definitely cleansing every single cell of the body of its toxic waste and opening up that lymphatic system. What you need to get is the adrenal and kidney kit off the website, or just get them herbs I just mentioned and go on an all fruit diet and an all fruit juice diet. That'll get rid of your arthritis within 7 to 15 days. We done had people get rid of it quick. Remember the lady we had that was she had arthritis. She couldn't even swallow her food.
Right.
And we had a lady that had arthritis, but she couldn't even swallow her food. And we put her on that juice diet with them liquid herbs. She was she was moving around. Remember, she started getting up and everything.
Yeah.
She was walking again. At first, she was bedridden. She couldn't even walk, y'all. This is a true story. She couldn't even walk. After, what was it, 2 weeks?
Yep. It
was 2 weeks just on nothing but fruit juices and our herbs. She had arthritis so bad she couldn't swallow. She had arthritis so bad she couldn't even walk. She was out walking around and everything. You see, when you change the environment, how you can bring back your body and regenerate your cells. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. All right, y'all. What time is it?
10:04.
All right, I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. Look, I love y'all indeed and in truth. I love y'all indeed and in truth, y'all. I can't answer any more questions. I do gotta go. We got a lot of stuff cracking off. Man, we got so much stuff cracking off. So in 2 weeks, hopefully the stuff will be up on the website for y'all can go and check that out. We got a school coming out. I mean, it's amazing things happening and taking place here. We got a lot of seminars coming up. We have a seminar coming up in Las Vegas. We'll shoot y'all a date by Monday for that. Y'all had a date for the seminar that's in Vegas. We got the school coming out that's going to be presented in Florida. The Healing House is popping right now. We got a beautiful sister there. More people coming down. The store. We're waiting on county for the storefront, y'all. It's not us. And it's not the contractors, it's county. It's county. When the COVID, this big ass lie called COVID, they taking too long to come out to inspect. It's just a long process with that. So we pushed the date back on the store opening. Hopefully be open before the springtime. I hope it do. If not, we gonna get it open regardless, no matter what we do, no matter how much money we gotta spend, we gonna get it open. It's just we battling Cali right now in St. Louis County. So that's really everything we got so far. With that being said, I love y'all indeed and in truth. I love myself. I love my cells. Make sure you type that in. Let me get mine in here. Man, I had so much fun at that seminar. I met some beautiful people. We met some people that's going to become a part of our counseling team, that's going to become a part of the staff. We are building a spider web of healers, y'all. Like, man, we finna have a dope team of melanated healers out here healing the world, y'all, in each different state. So that's a beautiful thing. Just everything, man, just everything. So it's a lot of things cracking off for y'all. We do this for y'all. We don't do this for ourselves. This is for the glorification of Yahweh, and it's for the healing of my people, y'all. This is for y'all. I love y'all. I love myself. Y'all type that in. If you love yourself, type it in. Show yourself you love yourself. All praises. Hallelujah. All praises. All right, y'all. So most high willing, I'll be back at y'all next Tuesday. I might go live when I'm in Florida this weekend too. You know, so I'm gonna be down in Miami. So I might go live from there too. Crack some coconuts and some melons and some mangoes and talk about that. All right, with that being said, love y'all indeed and true. Shalom, shalom. If you got some understanding, overstanding, and understanding that you learned something today, type in some sevens. Yeah, fruits and roots on you what you call that thing?
Instagram.
On Instagram. If y'all need some organic fruits. Because this coconut is breaking up all in my mouth. At all praises. Well, look, with that being said, shalom, shalom, peace, love, life, happiness, and healing, family. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Shalom, shalom.